Wow.
Well, at least we got it. But no Ada yet.
We still got that.
I'm not gonna rest until we have her head on a stick.
Wow, he wants our head on a stick. Wow, look what Jim just did to me. Made me all gangstified. Got the bandana, I'm looking like Tupac up in here. Up in here, up in here. Oh my gosh.
Guys, let's go through there.
Yeah, I knew that. All right, where are we going now, guys? We're making some progress. We took out the snake. Yeah.
But did you remember something else? We had the sandworm. Remember? The snake.
Sandworm.
Remember,
Thank
Daddy?
you, Thomas. Thank you. What is that? Trixz+Lilman. Why is it not working? Hold on, time out, guys. Oh gosh, it's dark in here. We're in trouble.
Guys, the sandworm's gonna come.
This is crazy. It's not safe in here. We need to pull out. Captain!
Looking for me, boys? Welcome to China.
Ada!
No, we worked so hard to keep that guy alive.
Wait! We've got no choice. We have to kill him. He'd do the same for us.
Oh wow, this one's different.
Marco!
Watch it behind you. Ooh, not today. Oh, really low on bullets?
I am too. I don't even have anything in my assault shotgun.
Oh wow, I got no bullets, man. That was it. We had to kill the little. No, oh, well, he dropped some stuff. What did he drop?
Marco C4 explosive.
Wow. There goes the whole team obliterated.
So I mean you now.
You guys finished the Chris chapter? Yeah. This is our first run with it, you know. We're enjoying it. I think it's great.
Daddy!
It's a different type of...
Track Ada Wong.
Oh, let's track her down. We really need to track her down. Oh, before we take this too far, I can grab me something to drink. Did you grab something to drink?
What?
How's the city looking out here anyway? Let's me the water. I'm not really digging the background textures, but why is it so bright right there? Man, we had a full team too, man.
Hi, Dad, come on. Dad, come on. Can't continue without him.
Okay, I sure hope so. Right, Thomas? Right.
Daddy, me and you are both sad because look, we lost our whole army.
Did you guys hear that?
Chris, we need to stay calm.
After what she's done to us, how many of our men are dead because of that bitch?
I'm right there with you, Captain. But your personal vendetta isn't gonna get us anywhere. If you hadn't been blinded by vengeance, we could have prevented some of those deaths.
It died?
Shut up.
Oh, it's low. Keep it down.
Do you even care about our mission anymore?
Shut
I
up!
feel sorry for all the men that died believing in you. What happened to the legendary Chris Redfield, huh? What happened to you? It's a good thing Finn's not around to see you this way.
I'm going after Ada. HQ, this is Alpha Leader. I need a location on Ada Wong.
I'm going with you. Someone's got to keep an eye on you, whether you want them to or not.
This is HQ. We've got the location for you. Ada Wong has left the city and is heading south for the harbor. HQ to all teams. Target Ada Wong has been spotted, heading south for the harbor. We want her alive.
Okay, we gotta be careful.
Yep, that's,
You didn't hear it? Oh, man.
That's good.
I bet you it'll work for Thomas. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working.
You want to follow me around? Fine. Just make sure you stay out of my way.
As long as you don't cross the line again, that won't be a problem. Ada's just playing with you. When are you gonna realize that?
I'm not stupid enough to fall for her bullshit. You should have a little more faith in your captain.
Zero, 12, 0. All I got is my knife and my pistol left.
Yeah, well, be careful with the water zone.
Why?
I don't know, it's looking dangerous. Got some pretty strong hopperoo. Alright, looks like we gotta make our way across. Here we go.
Hey, always check the perimeter.
I know, but we're making a lot of noise in the water. There goes those guys again. Oh boy. Oh, come on, dude. Stick your body out like... And they're all aiming at me and not you. That's interesting. That's amazing. No, not today. Yeah, we gotta keep ourselves hidden here, guys. I hope so. I surely hope so. 'Cause I keep thinking about, like, Resident Evil 4.
3 snipers?
3?
Yeah, there's 3 on me. Oh, because there's one up there.
Got the next one. Oh, gosh.
You're dead.
Got that one.
Daddy!
Still alive?
Daddy! Big dude! Big dude!
Big dude.
Big guy!
Well, stay alive. You got this. Oh, you brought it to us. Okay, cool.
Really?
Yeah, this will help you out. Have fun.
Wow.
Any more snipers on us?
2 more. That's at least... Yep, 1 more. I know exactly where he's at, too.
I need ammo, man. We're always running out of ammo in this game.
Hey, I'm gonna shoot him down for you.
Okay.
Oh, that's not the guy. The sniper's up there.
Oh, dear, jeez. Dude. All right, come on. Can I switch? Okay.
I got him for you.
Let's reload here real quick, guys. We don't have any flashbangs. We don't have any. Oh, no, yeah, I do.
Wow.
I didn't even know that. What?
Daddy, when you kill these guys, they turn to those, and they turn to the big guys.
Oh, God.
Look, when you kill them now, look, they go like that, and they turn to the big guys. Alright, this guy might not. I said something too soon. I said
Oh, that
this
was
guy
you.
I said this guy might not. I said this guy might not hatch, and he did.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now we're in danger. I'm climbing up top.
Really?
You have snipers still?
No, I think I took them all out.
I don't think he can come up here.
Nope.
Take that back.
Oh, yes! Daddy! 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 You left me!
Little man, you gotta run! Woo! Oh, dear gosh. Let's get out of here. I don't think he can jump all that.
Yes,
now.
he can! He jumped! He jumped! Daddy?
Little man, we might want to open the gate. Open the gate, open the gate, open the gate! And we're out of here. Oh, there she is.
Captain, get a hold of your stuff. That helo's about to open up on us.
They're working with her? Like, what the heck?
We're sitting ducks out here. We need to find cover.
Well, at least the guy's behind us. Run, run! Oh, gosh.
Daddy, this way! Daddy, the guy's still behind us, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I can't move. Dude, what are you doing?
You gotta be kidding me.
Don't talk, just run.
Dad, ignore this guy.
I know. We got it. Come on. Run!
Keep moving.
Why do I gotta hold the run button? Like, that's annoying. I wish I could just, like, tap it. Oh, okay, that's big trouble for us. Oh, no, not those guys. Oh, no.
Get out of my way, punks! Hey, there's a big guy!
It's not good.
We need to reach that building.
Of course I need to reload. Wow.
I was all the way over there.
I know. Well, because he shot where you were and I was behind.
Guys,
Okay.
now we need to just run.
Well, let's keep going. I don't like the running in this game. I don't know why. Like every Resident Evil I played, this is not really. I don't like the camera angle.
You gotta be kidding me.
Don't talk, just run.
All right, let's keep running. Yeah, we're trying, guys. We're trying. Oh gosh, he's coming after me, and of course I'm in the back. I get leftovers. Run, Chris! Run for your life! Hey, yep, just knock him off.
We can just get to that building.
Run!
Daddy!
Run! Oh, at least I was up there. What happened? That's what happened to me. We gotta stick together, but we gotta run fast. Run, boys, run! Yep. Hold X? I think it's A for me. Oh, no, you're right. It is X. Or I noticed you can hold X or the right trigger. Either way works.
You gotta be kidding me.
Don't talk, just...
Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God! Dummy, man. What an idiot. Like, stop automating. Like, what is with this automated climb? Like, get with the program here. It's pretty obvious I don't want to go backwards. Alright, let's try it again. Yeah, I did terrible. Alright, let's keep it up. Alright, let's stick next to each other. We don't want to go too far ahead. Alright, let's go.
You gotta be kidding me.
There we go. Now we're getting it.
Don't talk, just run.
Dude, jump down! Get out of my way. Just get blown up by the chopper. Don't go too far ahead.
Keep moving.
You're gonna get us killed.
Not me, you're gonna get yourself killed, boy.
Just keep going, Go. Don't fight him. Just come on.
We can
Just get us killed. Step across. To the left. Jeez, did you hit the bell?
We got a visual
No.
of Ada Wong. We're in pursuit.
Holy moly.
I hit it.
Ada Wong has been spotted moving down the canal. Charlie and Delta teams form a perimeter around Kucheng.
Whoa.
That chopper from here.
Drop the chop. Oh gosh, what the? Watch out behind you, Chris. Oh my dear jeez. Okay. Alright, we gotta take the chopper down, but with what? We don't have any grenade launchers or anything. I think we gotta book it. Oh, he's only shooting us with machine guns anyway. Okay, I'm gonna check this room in here. Get him, or I'll get him. There we go.
Daddy!
Yeah.
I got grenade launcher bullets.
Take him out. Oh, dude, you did not even hit me. Somewhere else with that. All right, come on. Ooh. I need a green herb. Oh, I do have some. Oh no, I don't have any grenade launcher bullets.
Daddy!
Alright, alright. Where are you at? Where you at? I'm gonna check down ahead, see if I can find some, Careful, don't die on me now. There we go. I got some grenade launcher bullets. Thank goodness. Break the vases.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been doing. How do you think I got ammo?
Took down some more. Nothing? Nothing. Oh gosh, take cover.
This man tried to hit me through the wall.
Oh, watch out to your left.
Oh, what is that?
Oh my god. Take cover, take cover. Oh my god, what are you doing? Get the... Okay, I need to switch weapons here. Hold on. Grenade launcher. Got him. Woo, good job.
No, not that hand.
Okay. Alright. Uh-oh.
And I was right there. You were right there.
Oh, dear
boy.
jeez. Alright, at least we got some extra grenade. What the heck happened?
Wow, Daddy!
I
Look
do
at the
need some of the green
building.
herb. That's gonna help me mix it with the red herb, guys.
Daddy, look at the building! Look behind us. The whole building's on fire. It got destroyed. Look how big that palace was.
It was a really big palace.
And it got destroyed?
Poor palace.
Maybe he
Snipers
needed some...
reloaded. Hey, at least we got
Daddy,
some bullets now, thankfully.
Maybe that palace needs some balance.
Yeah, right. Alright.
Wait, Daddy, is there a secret behind you? No, it's clear.
All clear? Yeah, we haven't really been paying attention for those, have we?
No. We got some more other things to
Oh,
do.
we got some guys up ahead. Careful.
Daddy, let me get one.
Go ahead.
This guy got knocked to the water.
Yeah, we did some pretty bad melees there, but we tried.
No, not me. I'm
No?
a melee guy.
Alright. Holding it down, though. Let's keep it up, guys.
Hey, come on.
That was a little tough effort. Behind you. Oh,
What?
gosh, quite a few of them,
Oh,
too.
God.
Okay, hold on a second. I might have a grenade. Get back. I got you. Don't worry. Eat some of those. Good stuff. Hey, use them next to me so we both share. Right here. Oh, no, we got full health now. I would just wait if I were you. Okay. Is that yummy green herb? Right? Hey, as long as it gives us health, that's all that matters, guys. Gotta get our health points back up again. Seriously? Wow, he just desperately grabbed that gamma clip, and I'm the one that busted it open.
That cutscene.
Oh boy, get ready. Yo, my computer's on fire, guys. 46 degrees Celsius. Put that in Fahrenheit. It's at 150 degrees Fahrenheit. That is insane. Why does it keep doing that? Searching for partner. That's a 50 long second, guys. Hold on. Let's try this again, guys. Here we go. Nice cutscene.
Think this is where they've been developing the C virus?
Medical center. Out of the whole BSAA is only Chris and Pierce. Yoink, right?
Ada!
Give your position away.
What?
God, he got desperate. He should have waited.
You can't run forever.
Alpha Team to HQ, come in. We're in pursuit of Ada Wong.
No use hiding, Ada. Make a run for the elevator. Go!
Dad, look at all this. Look at all this, Daddy.
Yeah, what are they doing here?
Glad you could stop in. Like what I've done with the place. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Run back!
Laugh while you can, Ada.
Oh,
You're
oh, oh!
going down.
Does it go away?
Nope.
So it keeps going and then it stops, right? Stops right there. The pattern does change though.
What the deuce?
This is gonna be scary. But I got an idea. Follow me. Woohoo! Come on, Chris. Down the middle. Hold aim and A to jump. Or slide, that works, but you might want to crawl. Easy, 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 Captain. Oh, what the heck?
Daddy!
Alright, we did it. Hey, what the heck? Oh gosh. Got it? Good
Yeah.
job.
Damn it, it's gone.
It looks like that was Helena and
The assassin
We'll
dude.
take the stairs.
Daddy, I need to use
what
my
the deuce?
thing.
Yay, it finally worked, right? Now watch our backs here, little man. We gotta really watch ourselves here. I think we're gonna be pretty much almost done with this campaign level anyways. Oh boy.
Hey,
Wanna break those two? Yeah, no green herbs yet. Wow, unbelievable. Alright, let's do this. Something sounds bad in there.
What the hell is all this?
keep your eyes peeled. Who knows what this bitch has in store?
There's people on the other side. Can't see them. But I see them on the other side. Hold on. Can't aim or nothing.
We're locked in.
Yep, it's Leon and Helena.
Let me see.
Engaging lock. Testing for prototypes.
Yep, they're on the other side. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know.
Ada!
We've been conducting
Oh!
work here. Why don't you have some fun with one of the new prototypes?
Her little bag of tricks isn't going to stop us.
Explode these up and run away. Touch him and run. Good job, good job.
Security
Watch
breach.
ourselves, watch ourselves. Oh, you got it?
Keep those damn things back. I'll get the lock.
Security breach detected in room 1. Security breach detected in room 1.
Daddy, keep him away.
I'm trying. Do the thing. Oh, I'm in trouble. Dang it.
Security breach detected in room 1. Security breach detected in room.
We gotta do it 4 more times.
Oh, you got this. Come on.
To keep those things away.
Security breach detected in room 1. Disengaging locks in room 1.
Wow, I guess you did it. Good.
What the hell is that?
Good job.
Wow, Daddy, look at these. They're just on the floor.
Oh, what the heck?
Daddy!
Oh, hold on, I'm trying. Hold on. Get yourself up. Come on, let's go. You need to heal up, honey. Get next to me. That's it. That's all the health I got. I'll find a green herb.
What's with the sage spray? Oh, wow.
We'll put that in your store case. Did you combine them?
What? Fine, what?
Oh, no, you did. Oh, okay. Never mind. All right.
Dad, how do I use this? First aid spray.
I don't know. It's weird that you can't. Usually, you can only give.
Right, Daddy, here. See if you can figure it out.
Hold on a second.
Give it back.
Hold on.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to equip it this way and then press B. Okay.
Alright, Daddy, can I have my things back?
Hold on.
Can I have my things back?
Yep, give me a second.
That's okay. You can keep them.
Hold on, come back to me again. Oh,
Daddy!
probably because I have it in my hand.
She was in this room.
Hold on, come here, hold on. Oh my god, I pressed the wrong freaking button. Alright, hold on. There you go. Alright. I actually heard it
come
that.
on!
You did it too? Great. Alright, all that for nothing. Alright, let's move on.
Daddy, this is the room she was in.
Yep.
That's why she disengaged and ran.
Well, looks like we're going this way.
Look, Daddy, she went out this door.
Never send a boy to do a soldier's job.
Oh boy.
It's been fun. Your friend likes it quite hard to get. She always been like this?
Ada! Don't lose her! I won't!
I think we're going this way. Let's go.
Daddy, they're down there too.
Yeah.
There she is. Cut her off. I've got her.
Uh-oh. And there's the window. It is known to use her gun and just get out of the situation.
Leon!
Wow.
It's Leon. It's Leon and the girl, Daddy. It wasn't the bald guy. It was Leon and the girl.
Chris? Leon. What are you doing here?
Uh-oh.
Put your gun down, Chris. She's a key witness. We need her. A witness? She's the one who did all this!
No, it wasn't her. It was Simmons, the national security advisor.
I lost all my men because of her!
And I lost over 70,000 people, including the president, because of Simmons.
She's working for Neo Umbrella. You know what that means?
Yeah, I do.
And you're still going to protect this woman?
I am.
Uh-oh.
How much you want to bet one of our choppers to just come up and shoot us?
Pause the moment.
Captain! Freeze! Damn it!
Helena!
He's gonna kill her!
Chris, wait!
We both want the same thing here.
All right. The BSAA will handle Ada. You take care of Simmons.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Chris,
Right, Jay.
I know you'll do the right thing.
She got a Ferrari?
Making a break for the harbor. Get in!
Hey, Pierce. What you said about me hiding from my past.
Yeah.
You were right.
What?
Captain? Catch up to her? Won't stop until I do.
I'm the gun.
Wow, you get the cool job. All right, well, here we go. It's all in the skies. So this whole time, Jay, oh wait, am I driving?
No, I'm shooting.
This is Piers Nibbins. Ada Wong is moving
She got
south towards
Ferrari.
military port.
Yeah, she's in a sports car. Here we are in a Hummer or Humvee, whatever. Oh, I gotta drive.
Don't bother. We can handle this. I've had enough of these stupid games. Step on it. We're losing her.
Oh shoot! You're lucky Daddy knows how to drive. It's back in my day. Oh gosh, what the?
Damn it, we lost her.
Okay, well listen. First of all, I didn't know that we had to accelerate. Now I know.
Hey, accelerate!
We can handle this.
Oh, we got traffic?
Enough of
Yep.
these stupid games.
Oh, that's no traffic. That's for monsters.
Come on, you can get him, little man. You can get him. Get ready. I'm about to bust another turbo mode here in just a second. Hang on.
Wow, we ran that guy over.
Oh gosh.
Hey, accelerate!
I'm trying. Get ready. I'm about to bust another turbo.
All of our units are currently engaged and don't have any to spare.
Damn it! I think this is part of the plan.
Man, I don't have a turbo yet. She's pretty fast, but we gotta catch up to her. Get ready, little man. Oh, there we go.
Now we've got you.
Oh, get ready. She's on the left side of the road. Oh! I gotta watch traffic.
Accelerate!
Oh, no fair. I will in a second.
Give up, Ada, we got you!
Hi!
Here we go. Like we're playing Mario Kart or like Twisted Metal. Why is there even traffic right now? What the heck?
This
So
ain't
we're
no-
like quarantined? Another Humvee in front of us.
Not getting rid of us that easily.
Hey, that's killing a real person too. Oh!
Oh gosh! Man, she just like has that auto speed up.
Hey, accelerate.
I can't keep doing it. I have to wait for it to load. I'm accelerated, I just don't have any more boosts.
Accelerate now.
Alpha, come in. This is Delta. We hear you're zeroing in on Ada Wong.
Hey, it's like when I boost, she boosts.
We ain't gonna last long. Gotta catch that woman before this gets any worse.
Don't worry, soldier, we will. Just keep those civilians safe.
Roger that. Good luck. Before we can put an end to this shitstorm. Still down.
All right, I'm trying.
There, we got another guy up here.
Okay. Yeah, I hear them. Oh boy, here we go. She's just cruising. Wow. Oh!
Hey, we're still on track with you. But Dad, we gotta watch out because look, we're on train tracks.
There's a train coming.
Woo! That was dangerous. We're back on our tail.
This is you.
Oh,
know how
once you go turbo, you can't stop it? Jeez.
Wow, shooting all the way up there?
Yeah, I don't know where's she going. Look, our truck is too slow for that.
Man, just because it's a parking lot, you want to park safe? Daddy, stop!
Where are we looking? It's dark.
Oh, over here. Go this way. Over here. Get up.
Oh, she's going on top of the garage. Okay, follow the yellow lanes. Keep up, my little man. Keep that gun
faster.
ready just in case we need it. Oh, gosh.
And we need it.
Got RPGs. All right. Oh, gosh.
Wow, now we got another guy to chase.
Oh, I'm supposed to go this way.
Up that way. Way, turn.
Wait. This is where we started. We gotta go this way. And then make a right. Okay, there we go. Come on. Come on.
This way, straight.
I think we're going this way. Cheers. Could have made it.
Hey, grab your gun. I'm taking the wheel.
I'm taking the wheel. Oh, no.
Oh, it's your turn.
Taking a shortcut.
That's my short. I don't know how to
All right,
drive.
looks like we're switching. Let's do it.
She's not getting away again.
You're not gonna lose us.
Woo!
You're not gonna lose us that easily, Ada.
That's the way to do it, man. It's the way to do it. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Careful, our health is low.
No, it's not.
The vehicle health. You see the bottom right? It's red. forget A for boost once you get around this curve. Jeez. There you go. Boost it up. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Jeez, you turn a lot. But that's okay. We need to dodge them. But, oh, gosh. So many of them.
We've spotted an aircraft carrier above.
Can't move. No! Holy Batman, right.
How are we dead by that?
Our vehicle health was low.
There we go.
Now it's full. All right, now we're good. Let's go.
Not getting away again. You're not gonna lose us, Ada!
Just try not to crash because you lose health that way. I think we just gotta follow her. I don't even think we can take her out, really. But just shoot the trucks. Jeez, I can't shoot. You turn too much. Easy, dude.
I'm trying to avoid the rockets. I'm trying to avoid the rockets.
I know, but... Okay, here we go. Oh, my God. Okay, they're not even shooting us. What are you dodging? I got it. All right, keep moving. I'm gonna get this one. Alright, I was gonna say, get that boost. At least we got infinite shots here. There we go. I can shoot now. Oh gosh, watch those.
HQ to Alpha. We've spotted an aircraft carrier of unknown origin in the harbor. Chatter we picked up indicates it might belong to Neo Umbrella.
That's what she was talking about.
Yep. There's an aircraft carrier up ahead. He drives like he's drunk, right? Okay. Oh, I got him. There you go. Get that boost. Oh, watch the walls.
That's where Ada's headed. Can't let her reach it. Hold on. I'm gonna jump it.
Oh boy. What? Ooh. Uh-oh. Look who's there.
Her car got busted up too.
Yeah, she just walks away.
Like, I don't care about my car. I just want to get away from you. Ooh.
Oh, we did it. Look, we both got a B rank and an achievement. After her.
Daddy,
Yep.
my test for 5, you got 4. Wow, Daddy, it took us 2 hours to finish the whole level.
Phew, that was a long time. Our accuracy was A and C. Deaths was C and C. We did pretty bad with deaths. Is me 50,000?
Yeah.
Defense. I do like that because they do less damage now. I can't upgrade these anymore. It's gonna be now level 2 defense, and then we got a level 3, 80,000. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hold off on those. Go ahead. Got 20,000. Look at that. I don't know if those level up. Some of them do, some of them don't. You got team up, that doesn't level up. Breakout doesn't level up. Lock on level on does level up. Steady hands when shooting. Oh, that costs 31,000. Shoot.
Can't do anything.
We didn't really get much points that round, though.
I'm not. Daddy, you ready for the next one?
I'm gonna have to see what time it is. Oh man. Uh-oh.
I'm down and you're down.
Here's.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, no, you don't.
I'm good, Captain.
What is that thing? Is that Ant-Man?
I don't know what that is. And look, it's slit too, like a person.
Freaking Ant-Man. Is that the Predator? Look, Dad, look at the mask real quick. Was that the Predator?
Oh, man, it was about to stab me.
Dad, look at the mask. Does that look like the Predator?
It does look like the Predator.
Try that again.
Ooh. Three hours later. Yeah, right. Man, little man, I don't know if I had time, bro.
Careful. These enemies are different.
So these are Neo Umbrella's finest, huh?
All right, let me see here, guys. All right, little man, might have to take a break here.
Daddy, here. Here, Daddy.
Oh yeah, let me get that. Thank you.
Welcome. Ready to go now?
I don't know how the continue system works in this game. Yeah, I know, Jay, but let's be honest, man. These past, what, several days, it's been buggy, bro. It's been so buggy. You know what I could do?
Daddy, come on.
Okay, I'm coming. Yeah, snipers on you.
Hey, we gotta climb back up. Go to the other side.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Like, I mean, we could play it. I could play it on Xbox, I guess, if I really wanted to, but I
Hey,
won't be
come
able to
on.
play the PC version. Wow, look at this big area, man. These guys got better aim than we do. My sniper sucks. Like, see how it's not steady?
Alpha to HQ. We're closing in on Ada Wong.
HQ here. Copy that.
Daddy!
Oh
this
god,
guy
well, yeah,
has
you're at the
sword
bottom. I'm
hand.
coming, I'm coming.
He got a sword hand.
Careful, watch yourself. There's Ada's car. Watch your right.
What's this? A big hole in the middle. Is that like a rocket or
I have
something?
no idea, but look, doesn't it look like Minion?
Yeah, it does.
Oh gosh. Right.
Daddy?
I know the 27th, right? Ooh. Speaking of that, the 27th, you gotta download Resistance on your Xbox.
We need to get up those stairs. Hurry, we can't let her get away.
Daddy, I need your help.
I'm coming.
Hey, what are these things? Hey, I'm about to die. Help.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Hurry up and get out of here and run. Let's take some of that. Run away. Get back. Get away from that area. Alright, I don't think I have a flash. No, I got a grenade though. Sit back, sit back.
What is that thing? Well, I'm done. This guy can shoot through barrels and stuff.
Yep. Watch these guys. Watch these guys. Shoot them in the orange spots. Oh, no, you don't, but I got you there, buddy. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, gosh. I'm dead. Get the hell off of me! Or that. That works, too. Okay, we're out of here. Watch your left. Watch your left.
Not today, buddy. Try out someone else.
There you go. Watch your snipers.
Greener.
Snipers are far out there, too.
Hey, you're welcome.
Thank
I
you, thank
saved you.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, what the? There's no arrows on me. Here, come stand next to me. Actually, where'd you go? We'll go over
Behind
here where
here.
it's safe.
Behind here, dude. You're on the total complete the other side.
I know, it's fine.
Where you at? By Ada's car?
Yeah, come stand next to this. I'm gonna use some health real quick. Tomb Raider is free right now on Steam. Really? Which one? Stand next to me. Hold on, let me let you heal up. There we go. We're looking good. We're looking good. One more time. Feeling good?
Yeah.
All right, watch yourself. All right, let's get going.
Daddy, hold on. No, I can't shoot him.
No, they are pretty far out there. I'm gonna try. Yeah, they're away. I'm gonna be missing a lot. My guy's shaking too much. Oh no!
Well, that's just great. What else can go wrong? How the hell are we supposed to get that bulkhead open?
We'll figure something out. That's our job. You and I have a mission to complete. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Maybe we can blow it open.
Hey, I'm over here.
Come in. All right, we gotta hold it down, guys. We gotta follow Shark Lord here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, shit, you're up top? Oh, you're not. You're over there. You okay?
Yeah.
Careful.
Oh!
Get away, get away. He's gonna blow. Oh.
Oh! What is that? Ew! That's disgusting.
Oh, look at that.
Told you it was a rocket.
I think I found just the thing to blast that bulkhead open.
There's a ladder up there, but we can't get up there yet. There might be another way back later. Alright, that way's a dead end.
Look at this thing.
Oh, get away, it's gonna blow! Oh, that's Tomb Raider. Well, why not claim it? Is it, this game, is it free the whole time?
Daddy!
Yeah.
I found it inside the airplane.
Ooh. Good job. All right, let's keep it up.
I'm finding all the secrets today.
Oh, for a limited time, install now and keep forever. That's good.
Dad, I want Tomb Raider.
Yeah, you need to, when you go onto your Steam, you need to claim these.
Daddy? Daddy?
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, I never actually played any of the Tomb Raiders.
Daddy? Trouble! Daddy, trouble!
Get away, get away, get away. But why did it show both Tomb Raiders? Tomb Raider, yeah, I got him now, so that's good. Thank you, Jay. It's free until the 24th? No, it says it's free forever. I'll watch the big guy. I got your back. Ready? There you go. He's down and out. Watch yourself. You need some health.
I got it.
You're good to combine them. There you go. Put it in your store case. I got full health anyway, but go ahead. Gotta get the snipers out of here. Alright, so we got a door we need to get to. This was the door I think that shut on us? Or no, we gotta go this way. Alright, we're a little closer now. I wonder if I can snipe these guys. Those guys are real hidden back there.
Hey.
I'm coming.
Piers.
Okay.
Come on, Daddy.
Nothing here, but I think it took us to the other, it took us under them so they wouldn't get sniped. Where are we supposed to go? I think we're supposed to go out the other door.
Yeah, we're supposed to go out this way.
Alright, let's go for it. Yeah, and you get both games shown in that picture. Okay. I'll claim it before the 24th. I was about to
Daddy,
say.
look at the sky.
I don't like those free until certain days. Like, that's kind of annoying.
Look at the sky.
Yeah, the sky looks... You can tell that's the Sky Dome, though. But, yeah, it looks nice.
Daddy, wait, you get to keep it after you buy it? I mean,
Tomb Raider? Yeah.
You get to keep it?
You get to keep it. Oh, yeah. Why is there a light on us? What is over there?
Hey, it's a light thing right there. That's all it is. I swear it's actually following me.
It's following you.
I'm going for
Oh,
it.
they're shooting us!
Roger that.
That's why, Daddy, they're shooting us.
Oh, boy. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Hey, wait for me.
We We need to get out of there. They're trying to shoot us. They're trying to shoot us. In the Temple of Osiris. Yeah, it looks pretty cool though. Believe it or not, I've never beat any of the latest Tomb Raiders. That one in the Shadow Tomb Raider, never beat it. If I'm not mistaken, I have it on Xbox, just never played it.
I never played Tomb Raider before.
Yeah, the new ones are actually pretty cool. I played it like a little tiny bit in the beginning. All right, well, here we have it. Oh, this is that ladder I couldn't get down earlier. Okay.
Dude!
Sorry. You okay over there?
No! This guy grew a freaking shield and the other one grew something else.
Watch the snipers again.
Oh! Run!
Whoa, he want you. I shot it for you. You're good. Back up.
I'm running.
You gotta run out of here, buddy.
Not me. Nope. Nice try, buddy. There, I killed all of them. You're good. Where you at?
Ooh.
Semi-auto sniper rifle?
That might actually help me.
Hey, where you at right now?
Okay, I'm inside that building.
What building? What building?
Oh, these sniper bullets take different bullets. Okay, well, I'm gonna save those.
Daddy, where are you?
I'm up top.
Where up top?
I'm gonna get these snipers out of here, but I might need your... They might try to sneak attack me.
I don't know where you are. Ooh, semi-auto sniper rifle. Ew!
And of course he's up here with me. I can't snipe the snipers because I'm getting distracted now. Great. Oh. Wow. Jeez, finally. Okay, hold on. I gotta get these snipers out of the way. Shake it so much, dude.
Because you don't have steady aim like I do.
There we go. I got the one sniper down. Okay, I gotta hide.
Hey, there's a guy behind us.
Alright, we gotta get you up, man. We gotta get you up. Right? Yeah, same. I just played it. I think I even got the definitive edition. Never played it. Just kind of just sat there, to be honest. Yeah, we're gonna have to... Hopefully that got all the snipers. Alright, I think I don't see no more pink snipers. Good. Jumping down, let's go. Let's get down to business. We're downstairs.
What?
Hey, where we gotta go now? No, for me. I don't think so. Thought it was somebody else. Yeah, the graphics did look amazing. Yeah, and I think at the time I had a 980, I think, at the time when I was playing it, or the 970, I'm sorry. I can imagine how it'll run now. It probably runs real good.
Daddy, there's another sniper.
There is another one?
There's
There's two? Watch it, one jumping down.
Daddy, there's more. There's guys near me. I need your help.
Oh gosh, we gotta get out of here. There's a bunch of them jumping down. Oh my god. Book it out here. Book it. Get inside. Get inside. Run, 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 run. He's gonna turn into the big guy. That's annoying. Alright, we're climbing up to the top here, guys. Easy to get over 60 FPS. Easy 90 to 100, right? Right?
Daddy.
Well, games like that, I don't think you really need high frame rate. Alright, I'm going across. Watch my back, Chris.
Wait, Dad, I should have went because I have low health.
I know, but it's not gonna let. Oh gosh. You're getting split up.
Here, you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Just keep going. We'll meet up eventually.
Alright, watch your back.
I can't.
I made it to the missile. Oh gosh, get off of it! This guy. How many of you guys are there?
No! Hey, sniper!
Okay, dude, I'm trying. Hold on. What the hell happened to you? Why are you on there?
Sniper!
What were you doing?
Climbing to the other side.
The only thing I was able to do is a missile, and I can't get past that part.
Yeah, fine. Just keep going. We'll meet up eventually.
I'm gonna try to take these guys down. Just try to go easy. Don't rush it too much. Oh god, not this guy. Alright, so he's down and out. Okay, well, I'm jumping across.
Dad, take out the snipers!
Where? Hold on. I'm on your side. I'm coming. Stay alive on me. I got one guy on me. Shoot, come on, man. Leave me alone.
Dad,
I'm
take
coming,
out the
I'm coming.
snipers for me.
Oh, you gotta do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Hold on. You gotta keep pushing X.
I am.
The snipers is what's gonna get you, bro. Why am I stuck? I can't move. Wow, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah. Wow, these guys just keep coming. Oh, great. Oh, great. Get away, get away, get away. Oh, God, there's so many. All right, back it up. We need health. Well, you need health, actually. All right, we got to get these snipers out of the way. They're ticking me off. Where are they?
They're over here.
And these guys keep spawning forever, man. Wow.
Daddy.
I'm coming. Went all the way to the back. We're in a dead end now. We're trapped. And this guy's coming. Come on, man. Wow, I had to reload. Okay. Dude. We should have went back that far. We're supposed to do something with that missile, but I don't know what. Man, I ain't got time, dude. We're gonna have to pause it and take a break. I need decent frame rate. Yeah, just pause it.
You okay?
Alright, guys. Fortunately, I got some things I gotta do. So if anything, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for everything. Enjoyed everything. I really appreciate it. Line. Yes, I'm really glad that we had the 2 minutes. It's actually really cool and everything like that. But I will definitely get you guys in the next broadcast, and hopefully you guys take care, and I'll see you guys later. See you later. Bye bye.